The relationship between North America's building trades unions and their office in Washington, D.C. and our office here in Ottawa has been strengthened over the past couple of years, and the relationship that we have with President McGarvey, who just texted me, by the way. He's got a 10-pound baby grandson. This happened at 9/18. Yeah. So we congratulate President McGarvey, but we really thank Secretary Treasurer Booker for those words. And Brent and I work really closely together, and he has been very supportive of all our initiatives at Canada's building trades unions. And I thank you very much for that, Brent, and I look forward to continuing and strengthening the relationship between our two organizations and our two countries over the coming years. So thank you, Brent. I'd like to take a moment now to make some formal remarks as Executive Director of Canada's Building Trades and welcome you again in person to our 2022 conference. As many of you know, my name is Sean Strickland. I'm Executive Director of Canada's Building Trades Unions. I joined CBTU back in July 2020, month 5 of the pandemic. My wife was not too convinced I was making the right move. But anyways, it's a pleasure and honor to represent the brothers and sisters of Canada's building trades unions. It's been quite a ride for these past 2 years. And who knew, when I joined CBTU, when you look back 2 years ago, who knew that it would take us that long to get back together? Since March of last year, we've been through a lot. Through the pandemic, as a country, as an industry, and as an organization. I want to sincerely thank the Canadian Executive Board for your strong and steady leadership. To President McGarvey and Secretary Treasurer Booker, for your guidance and support. And to each and every one of you and your members for continuing to go to work each and every day throughout the pandemic. A special thanks to all the business managers and local union staff who have been dealing with numerous questions and issues around vaccination policies, masking policies, member concerns, mental health issues, illness, and death. It has been a long 2 years. I want to recognize each and every one of you in this room for the work that you've done to help your local union get through the pandemic. So thank you. Thank you for keeping the unionized construction industry strong in your jurisdictions and right across the country. Out of adversity comes strength, and we have overcome many challenges throughout this pandemic. We are truly stronger now, plus fort, than we've ever been. Of course, while we're seized with domestic issues and issues within our unions, building trades councils, we're also very much aware of everything happening in the world today. It's not lost upon me and the Canadian Executive Board that Canada is the second largest Ukrainian diaspora. Throughout our history, many of our brothers and sisters have been and are of Ukrainian descent. I'm sure there's some in this hall who are of Ukrainian descent. And like many of you, it pains me at night to see the destruction, the loss of life that's happening in Ukraine daily. In some small recognition, the Canadian Executive Board has donated $5,000 to the Ukrainian Canadian Foundation. We encourage you to make a donation as well. See the website address there. You can go to that foundation.ca and make a donation. Turning back to CBTU, over the last year, Canada's building trades unions has worked diligently to strengthen relationships with government, employer partners, some are in the room today, and stakeholders, both internally and externally. We are well positioned to continue the important work of the unionized skilled trades. And we've been doing it coast to coast. In British Columbia, advocating for changes to the temporary foreign worker program, working hard to secure infrastructure investment like the approval of the Massey Tunnel project. Because of these efforts and the leadership of Executive Director Bryn Burke and the BC Building Trades Council, we are stronger now, plus fort. In Alberta, from having op-eds published as we're fighting hard for oil and gas jobs, as we move towards a just transition to the net zero future, to leveraging our North American-wide influence to fight for better labor legislation. Because of these efforts and the leadership of Executive Director Terry Parker and the building trades of Alberta, we are stronger now. In Saskatchewan, We're working closely with owner clients to secure work opportunities for our members, like BHP's Jansen Potash project that you'll hear more about later today. Because of these efforts and the leadership of Executive Director Dion Malakoff and the Saskatchewan Building Trades Council, we are stronger now. In Manitoba, we're supporting efforts to fight back against the de-skilling of the trades through op-eds, social media, and advocacy. Manitoba was also the first province to launch the provincial portal for CBTU's Construction Trades Hub, a virtual recruitment and assessment tool to attract people to the skilled trades. Because of these efforts, and the leadership of Chief Executive Officer Sudhir Sandhu and the Manitoba Building Trades Council, we are stronger now. In Ontario, we work closely with provincial officials to untangle infrastructure spending coming from the feds at the onset of the pandemic, to get money out the door faster, get shovels in the ground faster, and get our members working faster. And it worked. We're coordinating meetings with high-ranking federal and provincial officials to develop innovative solutions to meet labor supply demands. And we successfully advocated for projects like the Trans-Canada Power Storage Plant in Meaford. Because of these efforts and the leadership of business manager Mark Arsenault and the Ontario Building Trades Council, we are stronger now. In Quebec, we ensured the participation of a bilateral committee on Enbridge Line 5 and are working more closely to better understand the nuances of the Quebec construction industry. Also ensuring that our materials are available bilingually and to leverage our national voice on issues like Line 5. Because of these efforts and the leadership of President Michel Trepanier and the Quebec Building Trades Council, nous sommes plus forts. In New Brunswick, when Irving Oil needed support, we stepped up, penning opinion editorials for the Telegraph Journal, doing media interviews to talk about the jobs created for building trades workers by Irving. We've been vocal in our support for small modular reactors, and you'll hear what's happening in New Brunswick with this new technology tomorrow. Because of these efforts and the leadership of President Jean-Marc Ringette and the New Brunswick Building Trades Council, we are stronger now. In mainland Nova Scotia, we're using our national voice to meet with Atlantic MPs and held the first childcare focus group with members to ensure that childcare is accessible for construction workers. Because of these efforts and the leadership of Executive Director Brad Smith and the Mainland Building Trades Council, we are stronger now. In Cape Breton, we expanded our offices to advance women apprentices, to recruit and retain more women in the trades, to meet the labor needs of the industry, with more opportunities to grow and diversify our workforce. Because of these efforts and the leadership of President Jack Wall and the Cape Breton Building Trades Council, we are stronger now. In Newfoundland, for major projects like Muskrat Falls, Bay du Nord, West White Rose, we've been a partner in our advocacy efforts, from getting articles in the media to facilitating meetings. Because of these efforts and the leadership of Executive Director Darren King and the Newfoundland and Labrador Building Trades Council, we are stronger now, plus fort. We are the national voice of over 500,000 Canadian construction workers, members of 14 international unions who work in more than 60 different trades and occupations that generate 6% of the country's GDP. That's who we are. We are a force in Canada, and we're growing in our strength, and we're growing in our influence. And one of the reasons that we've been successful over the past couple of years is that the Canadian Executive Board came together and developed a strategic plan with a clearly defined mission. Our mission is to advocate for public policy and work opportunities that benefit our members and improve the living and working conditions for construction workers across Canada. And it's through your support that we're able to deliver on our mission. In order to make this happen, we need a supportive Canadian Executive Board. I can't thank the board enough. And we also need a strong team. I would like to thank and recognize the great work of the CBTU team over the past 2 years and their yeoman effort to organize this year's conference. You see the members of the team on the screen. They're not all in the room. They're out busy doing work. But please join me in a round of applause for the CBTU team. To make this all work, we need your support. We've got the board, we've got the team, but we need your support. And when all of us come together, we're able to deliver on the skilled trades workforce mobility tax deduction, something we've been working on for over 30 years. We got it done this last budget. We've achieved infrastructure investment, secured income support for workers during the pandemic, achieved employment insurance reforms, and we are continuing to fight for Enbridge Line 5 and other major projects. But we need your continued support to keep the momentum going, to deliver on permanent reforms to employment insurance, to secure a just transition for oil and gas workers as we move to a net zero economy, to ensure that no worker is left behind, to ease cross-border mobility for U.S. and Canadian building trades members, to make meaningful, and I mean meaningful, changes to the temporary foreign worker program to ensure that Canadians are hired first. Our mission, and it's worth repeating, is to advocate for public policy and work opportunities that benefit our members. This is what drives the Canadian Executive Board and drives the CBTU team, to advocate for public policy and work opportunities that benefit our members and improve the living and working conditions for all construction workers across Canada, because that's what unions do. When unions do better, all Canadians do better. It's through your continued support that we're able to deliver on our mission. Because we are stronger when we communicate who we are and what we do. Because we're stronger when we invest in training and apprenticeship. Because we're stronger when we advocate for work opportunities for our members. Because we are stronger when we stand together. Thank you for your dedication to our members and construction workers in Canada. Together we are, and with your help, we'll remain stronger now. Thank you very much.